So let's say request.body. So all the fields we pass into the body, we are going to get it here, and we are going to extract it from this side. So we will pass in our name, our email, that email, and then our password. Great. So what you are going to do is you are first going to get our user. So await, which means you have to pass in our async here, and here we are going to actually pass our user.find. So we are going to pass in our email here as email, and then so we are going to check if our user exists. Okay, so user, if our user exists, then we are going to tap into it. So rest.status. So we will say we give it a status of 403 and give it a message. Okay, so I'm just going to send back a message saying user with the email. So we are going to actually pass the email here. So user with this email already exists. Okay, so plus email is supposed to be plus already exist. Okay, so once we get the user, then it means the user already exists, so we are not going to create the user. Okay, but if the user doesn't exist else, then we can go ahead and create the user. So we are going to say const, and then here let's say new user. Okay, so new, we're going to pass in our user. No, why today I'm just finding it difficult typing. So we are going to pass in our name field, and I'm going to use the lodash to just change the first alphabet of the name to uppercase. Okay, so dot uppercase. All right, let's pass in the name here, and then we are going to pass our email here. So email, since it's the same as the name we are passing, we can just ignore and then type just email. Okay, same as the password. That's JavaScript for you. So now let's continue. So once we create it, now we can use our JSON web token to encode it. Okay, so that even when somebody taps into it or gets our data we are passing it, the person can actually understand what you are sending, the message you are sending. Okay, so for security reason, we can just encode it using token. So we are just going to say token and jwt.sign. Okay, and here we are going to pass our new user here. And then followed by the message. So whenever we are using it, we have to give it a secret key, okay, which is actually a token. So this is the token we are using here. So we are going to pass it here. So process dot env dot token. Okay, so that is the token we are going to pass. In addition to that, this is not how it is. My bad, sorry. So this is how it's supposed to be. So we pass in our new user and then our token. Okay, and once we are done, we can now send the token to our user. But before we send it, let's not forget to save our new user. Okay, so we're going to call new user dot save. Okay, and here we are going to pass res.send, and then we can send our token. Okay, but before we send, we can pass in a status code here. So status of 201, and then we are done. Okay, so basically that is how we can register our user. For now, don't worry about the password hashing and stuff. I'll create a different video which I'll actually cover it with passport.js. Okay, so for now, let's just take the name, email, and password and then store it in our database. So I'm just going to click on save, and I'm actually using Tender Client. It's an extension in VS Code. You can get it and then use it instead of Postman. So let's check if we are on course. So we have to add our route to our app.js. So let's quickly import it here. So const, and then let me say register route. Okay, recall. Just going to navigate to route register, and then down below I'm going to create our app.use, and then I'm going to give it API/register. Okay, all right, and I'm going to pass in our register route. Great. So it's going to be localhost port 3000 /API/register. Okay. Oops. You're actually getting router.use requires midware function but got object. Let's debug here. Okay, so let's go to our router. Oh, sorry, actually we have to export it. Okay, great. So let's type in model.exports equals router. Great, and let's save it. Let's see if our server is running. Great, so it's running. So now we can test it by typing in register. Okay, so let me show you how the tender looks. So you can create a new request. Okay, you can pass in the URL or the where you want to route to. So this is how I did mine. So the URL, you pass in your base URL. Okay, /API/register. So you are just going to pass in our email, our name. Let me say Christian. Oops, that's the name. So name : Christian. Let me bring comma here, and once we are done, we can say post request. Okay, so you can just click on post. All right, it says oops, username already exists. Oh, really? Let me check. Okay, so after some minutes I realized this was the mistake. Sorry for that. So here is find one. We're actually finding a user. So let's save it, and now let's go and try it again. So I'm using Christian and then the Gmail. Okay, so let's try it. All right, so we are getting it. This is our token form. All right, but we are actually having a problem here again. So I'll actually take a break and then check what is wrong, and we'll continue. All right, so I find out that I already had a database created with the name ChatApp. So that is actually the actual app I created, but then I've deleted it, so we can now proceed. Don't worry, it has nothing to do with what we are working on right now. So let's try it again. Oops, no, I have to restart the server. Okay, just once you save, now let's wait for the server to start. All right, so once we get this message, it means the server is actually running. So let's try it again. Okay, so we are getting our token, right? Everything is fine. So now let's quickly create our login site too. So let's go back to our project, and then inside our routes, I'm going to create another route. Okay. Oops. What's this? Route. So new file. The name is login. Okay. .js. So in the login file, we're actually going to do exactly what we did in our register, just that our logic will change a little bit. Okay, so now we are going to grab our fields here from our body. So let's request.body. Great. Then here we are just going to extract our email and our password. Sorry, it's comma. Actually don't know why today typing is a little bit difficult for me. So we are going to create our user here, and we are going to tap into it and find one. Okay, so that's actually the mistake we did at the first one, which got us into trouble. So today we are not going to repeat that. So email, so you can just pass in email since the field name is the same. Okay, and then here we are going to check if user exists. User exists, then you will actually check whether the password is also the same as what the user typed in. Okay, so we are also going to check if user.password is equal to the password we are extracting. Okay, if it's the same, then what you are going to do is you are going to create our token just to encode it for us. So wjt.sign, and you are going to pass our user here, and then we are going to pass our process.env.token key. Okay, .token underscore key, right? That's great. I don't know why I always bring, so I think we are good to go, right? So we can now res.send, but before that, let's give it a status of 200, and then send. We can send our JSON. Okay, so we can pass in our token here, script. But if the password is equal to what we grab from our body, if it's not, then we have to get some information and send it to the client. Okay, so status, let's give it a status of 401, which is unauthorized. Okay, so send, and let's say wrong password. That is if the user exists, but then the password is not equal to that. And then now let's come to the else of the other one. So else, that is if the user doesn't exist. If the user don't exist, we will just res.send. But then let's first type in status before. Let's give it a status of 104. Let's say send. Let's send, say wrong credential. Okay, I think that's it. Let's see. I think now what you have to do is you have to export So model dot exports equals router. Okay, great. I would like us to wrap this around a try function. Okay, the try catch function. Oops. So I'm going to cut everything here and move it into the try catch function. So if there is an error, we'll console log the error here. So log error. Oops. Let me type it. So console log dot error. So we are going to pass in the error here. Great. And then here you are supposed to await. Here our async. Come here. I think that's it. Now let's go to our app file, and here we're actually going to, let me copy and just change it here. So login, and then let's say login. Okay, that's our route, and here just going to say login route, and here login. That's great. Now let's go to our tender client and then try it. So here we just have to delete the name, and now let's try it by changing the route to login, and now let's try it. Okay, so it's working. All right, so we've been able to register and then also log in. Okay, so this is it for this video. In our next video, we're actually going to connect it to our mobile application, which is the front side. Thank you very much. Kindly click on the subscribe button if you haven't, and join this community.